Hello, and welcome to another story taken right off the shelves at the heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your loyal host, Lothran, and I'm ever so pleased to be telling you these tales. So let's jump right back to it, shall we? Grab a filling meal, settle into a cozy spot, and pay accurate attention to Fleet Part 5, Legitimacy. I have the reports you requested, sir. Thank you. The Imepikuhr stood up and clicked for the hollow screen to activate. It showed him blurry images of the same three-pointed, orangish gold ship in multiple engagements with his forces. Can you get a better image of it? We're very sorry, sir, but this vessel, known as the Trike by its pilot and builder, moves at least 3 times faster than any of our techs previously considered possible. The tech looked to the floor in shame. Enough of that. The Imepikuhr waved the man off the floor with one hand as he scanned the raw data from troop reports. He's knocked down 40 Kozor interceptors in the last 2 months. Why are there only 20 deaths? Another tech entered the royal circle, etched into the floor of the vessel. Most of these deaths are from the recent battle, the wreck and scuttling of the Legitimacy frigate. Before that engagement, this pilot, known only as Cam, and his gunner, his elder sister Kath, if intel can be believed, actually performed a series of hit-and-run raids, knocking off non-vital or weapon systems from Kozors, retrieving them, and then leaving the area. How did they do that? Didn't we change the patrols to have no less than 3 Kozors on each sortie? The Imepikuhr asked of the man, who turned his face away and gazed at the floor. Oh, stop that shy-away nonsense. I'm a regular person, just like all of you. He commented in frustration, but knew his subordinates would likely never drop their meek mannerisms. He had so very much of his father's mistakes to undo, now that he'd finally wrested complete control over all Daramore Empire forces. What do we know about this pilot Cam? Has he given his technology to the Hark pilots within the sector? Sir, we know quite a bit, actually. A woman from info gathering spoke up but refused to cross the line of the gold and black circle etched into the floor. The Imepikuhr waved her in to take up a submissive spot around the table all of them stood around. Sir, please forgive me. Out with it, he chided her in an aggravated by her reluctance. Sir, both Cam and Kath have been very open about their origins, and will talk even to our known agents about where they came from. Cam and Kath were actually raised on the containment world. There they experienced the tyrannical rule of the Church of Unending Knowledge, and the order to kill Cam for his reinvention of their father's earlier flying vehicle. Kath disguised herself in what they call Nostraj armor, but shares immense similarities to vaunted Redeemer armor of ages past, as well as being able to deflect any effect from light arms, blaster-class weapons, including detonation. Show me the images, the Imepikuhr requested, gaping in awe as he saw the young woman in full garb firing upon his own forces on some space station or other. How long ago was this? Another tech chimed in, letting the woman slink back out of the circle, away from the tension she clearly felt. Imepikuhr, it was about a month ago, during our attempted incursion to seize Gallivant Station. The actions of both siblings were a major deciding factor in our retreat. Would you like me to put on a bounty on them? All but the generals leave the room. A dozen or so figures walked out as Thazon, the first true Imepikuhr in many generations, paced around the remaining members of his council, lost in thought. Has either Cam or his sister Kath come out in open support of the Hark fighters? No, sir. one of them responded. Do we know if the pair of them understand the root of this conflict? Imepikuhr, we reached out last week with intelligence operatives to inform them that the miners and traders were reneging on a contract and treaty signed by their ancestors and renewed each generation to use and maintain our facilities in the sector, as well as paying us a tax for our continued support and protection. Yes, we delivered as much evidence as possible as per your previous request. How did they respond? Not well, sir. Cam stormed out of the meeting. Kath remained to discuss all the details, but seemed to be very hesitant to trust us. It is often difficult to trust an enemy when they tell you the truth, no matter how much evidence there is. It reminds me of my younger brother's warning that father was going to turn on both of us. After the pair of them fighting me for my entire life, it was a hard decision to take his particular recording at face value. I almost lost my dear brother because of that hesitation. What of his technology? Sir, what do you mean? Someone mentioned Cam was very open. Has he also been open with his tech? The process for getting a vessel to move so fast as this, far beyond what any of us thought was capable. Thazon gestured to one of the displays with the trike easily outpacing and flying circles around 2 different squadrons of fighters. Well, he has been open about that as well. It's just... Out with it, Thazon demanded. This is important! Even the least risk-averse of the Hark pilots have had immense trouble getting his methodology to work. There seems to be only a single hour of time constraint to linking true cores in the fashion that Cam has. Have you gotten our engineers to start experimenting or working in teams? Have you tried anything? I'm sorry to say, but there are more concerns to deal with than just throwing people at it. The wiring itself is terrifically complex, and even Cam admits that most of the work was already done for him when he was building the trike. You found out his exact methods, though? Yes, sir, another man spoke up. Not a general, but essential on all council meetings all the same. The head of Nectar Corp. A man personally responsible for feeding the entire Empire fleet, keeping all the soldiers happy, well-fed, and most importantly, well-paid. I sent out an envoy after Intel's meeting with the lad didn't go so well. The gray-bearded man continued to defer to the Imepikuhr as much as any of the others in the room. We spoke at length personally, sir. Cam described everything involved in the process. Our personal Nectar techs tried to replicate it safely, but have come up empty-handed. But going over my notes, there is one thing, a special detail that might actually, if true, be a hindrance to anyone attempting to follow in Cam's footsteps. The man walked up to the table and played a short audio clip. Well, you see, it was all sort of an accident. Anyway, Kath is more to blame than anyone. After she found out about the kill order on me, she works, or she used to work, in the maintenance crew, fixing guns, repairing armor, that sort of thing, all day in and day out. She stole the no-stretch armor and a heavy blaster. Not sure how she got it out of the cathedral, but she rounded me up just after I went to sleep in my cell. No one questioned her in the armor. No one questions anyone in the armor unless they want to disappear. And then she took me out to the old strewn fields. She pointed the blaster at me and told me to make my flying machine. I set up the body and the engines first, collecting a whole horde of true cores. I think I settled on the 8 because they'd fit well in the trike, and, only because someone had clearly been wiring all of them together already, and I was sort of pressed for time. The transmission bled off to useless static. I'm sorry, Imepikuhr. I have the rest of the transcripts, but a solar flare ruined the rest of the recording. You have no idea how valuable that much is to all Daramore citizens already. Get me the rest of those transcripts, and send another envoy to Cam and Kath. Get me the engineering core as well. I'm going to give our men and women the right sort of incentive to solve this problem. What would you have me ask of the siblings, Imepikuhr? Jarrig, head of the Nectar Corp, asked of his ruler. It's simple. I'm inviting them to court to discuss terms. Make it a month from now. Leave me out. I have plans to pull out of my ass. Get out! I need silence and serenity to think properly. Thazon chased them from the ring so he could think once more. And so it is. Our time together has once more come to its end. As always, I've been your dutiful host, Lothran, and this was Fleet Part 5, Legitimacy. And now we must part our ways once more. Korvoth, guide them back along the proper path, back to the safety they know all too well.
Yes, sir, Lothran. Oh, what a good theme shift this episode is, isn't it? Really tosses you for a loop. You thought they were the bad guys, but no, they're just people, and they have a reason to do the stuff they do. Okay, alright, back to the topic. A pleasant greeting and a fond farewell to each and all. Please leave all your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. None of that awful, rude, or terrible stuff, though. You keep all of that to yourself. We don't want none of it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to help us learn, spread, and grow. And don't forget, we strongly encourage each and every one of you to do your absolute utmost to stay safe out there. Good night and good luck, everyone. You'll need it. See you again tomorrow for the discussion. It's gonna be a good one. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe an extra episode as well from me. Who knows? I might have enough time for it. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, 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 everybody, bye-bye.